grab whatever it is that you need in order to be successful, and meet me in child's pose on the mat. First thing we'll do is start with a child's pose. So we're going to do extended child's pose to start, actually. So we want toes to touch, knees wide apart, and you are going to sink your rear back to your toes. Let your heart drop forward. Stretch your fingers out long and find a breath. As you start to get into this child pose, I invite you to start to find a calmness and a stillness in the breath. If this is the morning time when you're doing this sequence, I say good morning. If this is the middle of the day, I want to congratulate you on making it this far. And if this is the end and you are winding down with our yoga session today, I want to first of all tell you I'm so proud of you for doing the best you can with what you had. Now remember, all things start and end with a breath. And so we want to focus on breathing in and breathing out. Last full breath inhale cycle. Exhale out. On your next breath in, I want you to breathe up, and I want you to go into a tabletop position. That means that we're going to have our shoulders lined up directly with our hips. We're going to make sure that our kneecaps, we're going to bring our knees in underneath our hips, and we're going to bring our wrists underneath our shoulders. And we're going to start to set up. And you want to make sure that you have a straight line between the top of your head and the bottom of your back, your root chakra, as they put it. All right. And so again, we're going to move with the breath. We're going to breathe in into our cow. And as we breathe out, roll up into our cat. When we reset, we breathe in, drop your stomach, make it real full of air. And as you breathe out, push all that air out, curve your spine and twist. At the top, for those that are ready to kind of feel it on the sides. You're going to do one more on your own. And on your final cat pose, before you go back into that cat, I want you to go to a straight tabletop position, and I want you to plant your toes, get on the balls of your feet, and I want you to gently just lift your kneecaps off the ground, just to hover a little bit so you start to activate your stomach, activate your core, get everything nice and tight. And then I want you to breathe out and extend it to a plank, just to wake your body up. After you've gotten to that plank, I want you to tell yourself, I am strong. And as you breathe up, I want you to squat back. And when you breathe out, downward dog. And let it go. Now, when you first get to your downward dog, please make sure that you pedal your downward dog out. And that simply means just stretch your feet all the way as much as they can go to the ground. Now, if your heels do not touch the ground, believe me, it is okay. And that's why this is called a practice, because you get better with practice. Now we're going to go into a plank and back to that squat 2 more times. So we're going to breathe in to that plank, breathe out to go down, breathe in into our nice leapfrog squat. Breathe it out into our downward dog. When you're ready, we'll do this last one on our own. Breathe in. Good job. On that last breath, you should be in a downward dog. And then I want you to just find stillness. All right, after a good amount of stillness, I want us to walk, tiptoe our way all the way to the top of our mat until we are in a forward fold. And once you get in that forward fold, I just want you to take particular attention to the little things. Look at your toes. Make sure every toe is on the ground. Make sure you feel all 4 points of your foot on the ground. Make sure that you are rooted. It's always super important to make sure just we understand what we are rooted in. Before we go up too high into that forward fold, I want you to do a simple rainbow. I want you to paint your fingers around your mat. Just so that when we start to wake up our obliques, we wake up that lower back. We'll breathe into one side, breathe out to the other. Breathe into one side, breathe out to the other. Take that 2 more times. And on your last one, before you go into an inhale to the left side for your rainbow, I want you to breathe up to a flat back position. Hands either on your thighs or on your shins. I want you to stretch forward. Breathe in and breathe out. Let it melt down. Before you come up, I want you to go as slow as possible, one vertebrae at a time on our come up to mountain pose before we get started off in Vinyasa flow. I want you to breathe in, roll up as slow as possible at each vertebrae. Bring up as you go. As you go back to that breath, I want you to acknowledge your legs from your calves to your ankles to your kneecaps. Just bring attention and awareness to them. Your thighs, your hamstrings, all the way. Just keep taking inventory on what hurts, what feels good, what aches a little, what you haven't felt in a while. And then as you breathe in, get to your waist, bring awareness to the waist and into your lower back. And then as you start to bring awareness to the middle of your back and to the top of your shoulders, maybe your shoulders start to roll down. And then let's start to bring awareness to our neck. Maybe move your neck side to side or in circles. And then we get to acknowledge this and bring awareness to our head, to our brain, to the silence, to the thoughts that are registering at the moment. I want you to take your arms up. On the breathe out, I want you to grab something that you need and bring it down. I want you to tell yourself, I have what I need.